HarperCollins presents The Chemist by A. Dhand, read by Adonis Siddique. For the Dhands, and for all the independent community pharmacy contractors out there, the struggle is real. Author note: whilst I've used the real world of community pharmacy as a vehicle to tell this thriller, The Chemist is a heightened world and not procedurally factual. For the purposes of drama, policies, drugs, and doses have been manipulated to facilitate fiction. Prologue. Police helicopters overhead, and the sight of armed snipers on the rooftops of neighbouring buildings alarmed Idris Khan. It wasn't every day that the staff and patients waiting inside his pharmacy bore witness to a hostage situation. Across the street, inside Dare Cafe, customers had been lined up against the large floor-to-ceiling windows, a human shield concealing what was taking place inside. Nobody knew what this was except for Idris. He glanced at his reflection in the window. A black eye was in the infancy of healing. Idris ran his hand across his torso, gently massaging his ribcage, which was still bruised from what had happened the night before. He felt certain that if he lifted his shirt, he would find a wound seeping with fresh blood. He shuddered and glanced at the floor. The black tiles were spotless, gleaming almost. Nobody could tell that 12 hours before they had been stained with Idris's blood. He sighed and focused on the drama unfolding outside the cafe. Another police car arrived. 2 more officers exited the vehicle and urgently ushered people away from the cafe. A police cordon was hurriedly established, and overhead the helicopter made another pass. Idris knew who the hostage-taker was, a man whose circumstances had forced his hand, a man who would do anything to survive. But murder? Shit, Idris hadn't seen that coming. He should have, though. Again his hands indiscriminately moved to his ribs. Gemma, Idris's assistant manager, arrived by his side, auburn hair in his periphery, her dark blue uniform smelling potently of a lemony-scented perfume. He didn't turn to face her, and after an awkward silence, Gemma finally tucked a small bottle of medication inside Idris's hand. Behind them, 2 elderly patients continued to speculate about what was happening outside. Shouldn't the pharmacy be closed? Clearly it wasn't safe out there. "Don't," Gemma said finally. "Just don't." Idris remained silent. He was struggling with what to do, time working against him. Soon, more police cars would arrive, order would replace chaos, and the cordon would become impenetrable. If Idris was going, it was now or never. He examined the small plastic medicine bottle Gemma had given him. Methadone. 1 milligram per mil, sugar-free solution, 100 mils. Idris slipped it inside his pocket and opened the door. Gemma put her hand on his shoulder. "You can't do this, Idris. It's madness. Think of Mariam. Think of what might happen," she whispered, fearful, desperate. Idris smiled weakly at her, ignored the fear crippling his insides. "I'm the only person who can stop this, Gemsy," he replied, and then walked out of the pharmacy. It was 50 short yards to the entrance of Dare Cafe. Headingley was one of the busiest areas of Leeds, full of students who attended the nearby universities. They were in full swing of the legendary Otley Run, a pub crawl from Otley into the centre of town, 17 pubs along the way with a pint in each one. The police were heavily outnumbered by students who were simply far too drunk to realise what was happening. Idris took his opportunity, walked urgently towards the security cordon, ducked underneath it, and immediately raised his arms in surrender to show the officers rushing towards him that he was no threat. "Stop! Armed police!" screamed a male voice. Idris froze outside the door of the cafe, turned his head, and stared down the barrel of a machine gun. "Back away from the door, now!" hissed the officer, his face concealed behind a black protective mask. "My name is Idris Khan. I'm the pharmacist who works over there."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?